Can you feel it? That subtle tremor in the fabric of what you once believed was real. The matrix, this construct of beliefs, systems, and roles, is cracking. Not with loud explosions, but with soft whispers. The kind that wake you in the middle of the night with a sense that something has shifted. It begins not outside you, but deep within. A knowing, a remembering, that you were never just a name, a job, a body. You were a spark of infinite consciousness, compressed into a form, living a temporary dream under layers of forgetting. But now, the veil is thinning. You're starting to see the codes behind the simulation, the loops you've lived on repeat, and more importantly, the keys that have always been in your hand. Not metaphorical keys, but energetic ones. Awareness, intention, choice. The matrix wants you asleep, looping through distraction, fear, and doubt. But your soul, it wants you awake, fully, radically, awake to your truth, your power, your quantum self. You're not here to fight the matrix. You're here to transcend it, to realize that it's not an enemy, but a mirror. And when you shift within, the mirror changes shape. As Joe Dispenza says, you don't need to wait for your life to change to feel elevated emotions. When you feel them first, your life begins to shift around you. And that is the crack in the system. But here's what no one told you. The matrix was never just out there, in society, in systems, in rules. It was encoded inside you, not as a punishment, but as a necessary veil. A layer of forgetting so that you could rediscover your power through contrast. The limitations, the fear, the patterns of unworthiness. They weren't your truth. They were your initiation. You see, awakening doesn't come with lightning bolts and fanfare. It comes quietly, in a whisper, a moment of stillness, a dream you can't shake, an emotion that breaks through the numbness. And in that moment, the code begins to unravel. Every thought you've had that felt off, every feeling that told you, there's more to this life, was your higher self tapping the glass from the other side. You are not remembering these truths by accident. This video didn't find you by coincidence. If this is resonating, if something within you is stirring, take a moment to subscribe or just breathe it in. You're not alone on this path. You're remembering. Now let's go deeper. Imagine. Right now, parallel versions of you are living out different expressions of your potential. One of them, still stuck in the loops. Another, already liberated. Quantum physics, as explained by visionaries like Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton, confirms this. You are not a static being. You are a wave of potential, collapsed into form by focus. The life you experience is the result of the frequency you most often embody. And the most powerful shift doesn't happen by forcing the outer world. It happens when you align your inner world. Because once your vibration changes, reality cannot help but follow. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine meeting a version of yourself who never forgot. This version of you doesn't carry the weight of past mistakes, doesn't doubt their intuition, doesn't need permission to be powerful. They walk with grace, not because life is easy, but because they remember who they are. This is your quantum self. It's not some fantasy. It's the you that already exists beyond the noise, beyond the programming, beyond the illusion. You felt them before, in those moments of deep knowing, in that inner voice that whispered, you were made for more, in the goosebumps that arise when truth speaks to your cells. And now, that version of you is drawing closer, because your vibration is finally matching theirs. The matrix starts to glitch when you stop participating in it, when you stop chasing approval, when you stop feeding fear when you stop betraying your intuition to please the illusion. This is the breakdown the Matrix fears most, an awakened soul in full remembrance, and you are becoming that. Take a breath, not a shallow one, a deep, cellular breath. Inhale life. Exhale the story that said you're not enough, the one that said you have to earn love, the one that taught you to dim your light to make others comfortable. Let it all go now, because your quantum truth is not something you need to create. It's what remains when the lies fall away. You're not remembering this because of chance. You're remembering because you're ready. The dream is ending, and you are waking up inside it. Somewhere deep within you, you already chose this path, to break the illusion, to unhook from the old code, to realign with the original blueprint of your soul. And the signs, they've been everywhere. The dreams that felt more real than reality. The moments where time bent and clarity rushed in. The synchronicities that defied logic, but felt like guidance. You weren't imagining them. You were glimpsing the cracks in the simulation. Now the question isn't, is this real? It's, what am I going to do with what I now know? Because awareness alone is not enough. It must become embodiment. It's time to live the remembrance, to act from your higher frequency, to become the transmission. That means speaking the truth even when your voice shakes, choosing alignment over comfort, loving yourself as fiercely as your soul always has. Right now, feel the truth of this moment. Your energy has already shifted, subtle but irreversible, like stepping into a new frequency that feels more like home than anything you've ever known. Breathe into that space. Let it settle in your body. And if this message has stirred something within you, if something clicked, not in your mind, but in your being, then let it be known. Speak it, write it, comment below, not for me, but because you're ready to declare your shift. And if you haven't already, subscribe, not just to follow more content, but to walk this journey with a conscious tribe that sees beyond the veil. And so, you begin to notice the cracks, not in the wall, but in the illusion. You start catching moments, small, fleeting moments, when the script doesn't follow the usual pattern. A stranger smiles at you, like they recognize your soul. A déjà vu hits you so strongly, it nearly drops you to your knees. You say a thought aloud, and reality responds, instantly. Coincidence? No, you are witnessing the breakdown of the programmed world, a simulation that relied on your unconsciousness to stay intact. The Matrix isn't made of steel and wires, it's made of agreements. Agreements your mind made to play by its rules, to believe only what your five senses could measure, to stay asleep, obedient, predictable. But your soul is not predictable. It's not mechanical. It's electric, chaotic, limitless. It knows the Matrix isn't real because it came here to break it. The moment you stop agreeing with your limitations, the program starts to glitch. You're no longer the character they scripted. You're becoming the author of a new narrative. And that, right there, is the first sign that your quantum self is awakening. A shift happens. Not in the outside world first, but in your perception. You no longer just experience life. You observe it, with clarity, with presence. This is where true awakening begins. Not with fireworks, not with cosmic visions, but with stillness, the stillness of the witness within you. You begin to notice your thoughts as clouds, not commands. You hear the voice in your head, but now, you know, it's not you. It's a voice that was programmed by fear, by trauma, by culture. And you are the sky, the field in which all arises. This is the rise of the observer, the part of you that doesn't react, doesn't panic, but simply sees. In that space of awareness, you reclaim your power. You realize, I don't have to believe every thought. I don't have to obey every emotion. I am not what happens to me. I am what I choose to become. And when this realization anchors itself in your being, you become untouchable by the matrix, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. As the observer within you awakens, you begin to notice the patterns, the knee-jerk reactions, the cycles of sabotage, the fears dressed as logic, the programmed beliefs you inherited, not from truth, but from survival. This is just how I am. This is how the world works. I'm not the kind of person who... You've said these before. We all have. But now, a new voice inside you whispers, what if that was never true? What if those beliefs were not facts, but echoes? Echoes of pain, of protection, of past identities you no longer need to carry. This moment is not about judgment. It's about release. The matrix doesn't collapse with resistance. It collapses when you stop feeding it. Every time you choose awareness over autopilot, love over fear, truth over comfort, a piece of the old code breaks. And in its place, space, spaciousness for something new to rise, something authentic, something you. The death of the old program is not destruction. It's evolution. You are not here to fight the old. You are here to become the new. Right now, timelines are diverging, not in theory, not someday. Now there's the timeline where you remain who you've always been, entangled in fear, looping in the familiar. And then there's the other, the one where you answer the call of your quantum self. This isn't science fiction. This is quantum physics meeting mystical truth. Your consciousness is the selector. Each choice, each emotion, each belief is a vote for which reality you inhabit. You're not stuck. You're tuning. Reality bends not to force, but to frequency. This is the fork in the road. Do you choose the version of you who shrinks in doubt, or the version who walks through the veil with knowing? That knowing may not come with all the answers, but it always comes with a feeling. That feeling in your chest right now. The subtle pull forward. That's your quantum truth rising. If this resonates, it's not just because you heard it. It's because a part of you remembers it. There comes a moment in every awakening when the old self doesn't just evolve, it dissolves. You may feel lost. You may feel like parts of you are falling away. And they are. But not because something's wrong, because something sacred is being revealed. The identity built on survival, on other people's approval, on trauma and conditioning, can no longer hold the frequency of where you're going. This is the in-between, the void. You are not who you used to be, but you are not yet fully the self you are becoming. And in this sacred space, there is silence. In that silence, listen. You'll hear a whisper that says, let go. Trust the collapse, because only when the old structure falls can the quantum light rebuild something new. This is not destruction. This is alchemical rebirth. You are the phoenix, and this is your fire. Breathe, surrender, and rise. There is something encoded deep within you, a vibrational signature unlike any other. Not your name, not your personality, but a pure energetic blueprint, a resonance that belongs only to your soul. And that frequency? It's what the universe responds to, not your words, not your affirmations, but the energy behind them. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are. Your quantum signature is like a beacon, broadcasting constantly into the field, attracting realities that match its vibration. So ask yourself, what am I broadcasting now? Is it fear, doubt, survival? Or is it clarity, trust, alignment? Because the field doesn't judge, it only reflects. And when you tune your frequency to your highest truth, the matrix can't hold you anymore. You phase out of the illusions of control and into the sovereignty of creation. Remember this: you are not here to react to reality. You are here to create it. Have you ever paused long enough to feel the subtle lie behind the idea that you are separate from everything? This illusion, this matrix, feeds on division. It tells you that you are a fragment, a lone body, walking through a world of objects and strangers. But what if none of that is true? What if the person you passed on the street yesterday is simply another aspect of the same consciousness, experiencing itself in a different form? The quantum field teaches us there is no real other. There is only one field, one mind, one presence, appearing as many. When you begin to awaken, you don't just realize who you are. You start to see through the veil that separates you from everything else. You realize that every word you speak echoes not just through space, but through the entire fabric of existence. You begin to feel it, the way a loving thought lifts the frequency of an entire room, the way an act of presence ripples into timelines you may never even see. This is the end of the illusion, the end of isolation. You were never alone. You don't need to download anything. You were already born with the most powerful system in existence, your inner technology. We were conditioned to believe that power exists outside of us, in systems, in governments, in external validation. But that's part of the deception. Your nervous system is a quantum antenna. Your heart is an electromagnetic generator. Your thoughts are waveforms, collapsing into particles. Your intuition is faster than light, a built-in GPS connected to the field of infinite intelligence. The moment you trust this inner intelligence more than the noise outside, everything changes. You no longer look for answers in the news. You stop reacting to drama or chaos. You drop the need for permission, because your compass is activated. Your body becomes a vessel. Your mind becomes a clear mirror, and your soul steps forward to lead. This is not metaphysics. This is ancient technology rediscovered, and it's coming online, right now. There's a reason the Matrix worked for so long. It gave the illusion of control. Rules, systems, deadlines, hierarchies, certainty. But what happens when those structures begin to crack? You feel the tremble first in your emotions, sudden restlessness, anxiety that doesn't belong to you, dreams that seem more vivid than the waking world, time bending, days feel faster, or sometimes they vanish altogether. That's not chaos. That's the veil thinning. The more your quantum self awakens, the more you begin to see through the programs. Old beliefs no longer stick. Old fears lose their grip. And suddenly, you realize the only control that ever mattered was energetic alignment. Not how much you hustle, not how much you know, not how many followers you have, but how much light you carry in your field. The Matrix breaks not with force, but with truth, with presence, with vibration. And you, right now, are holding the frequency that dissolves it. Look around you, not just with your eyes, but with your inner perception. Can you feel it? The old systems are trembling. The structures that once defined reality are beginning to dissolve, not because the world is ending, but because a new one is being born. Through you. You are not waiting for the new earth to appear. You are building it with every conscious breath, every healed wound, every aligned action. The Matrix cracks not with force, but with the frequency of awakening hearts. The illusions that held people in loops are unraveling. Scarcity, division, fear. These were never truths, only agreements. And now, you are no longer agreeing. You're beginning to see abundance in simplicity, connection in every soul, and power not in control, but in authenticity. You are realizing that your very presence, when grounded in truth, shifts timelines, heals spaces, and activates others around you. You don't need to preach or persuade. Just by being aligned, you become a living broadcast of higher frequency. People can feel it, even if they don't understand it. This is what it means to be a light in the matrix, not to escape it, but to infuse it with remembrance. You're not here to destroy the old. You're here to outgrow it, to evolve past it, until the old dissolves from irrelevance. And as you do, the world reshapes around your frequency. The more you live as your true self, the more others remember their own. You become the mirror that shows them who they've always been beneath the programming. So ask yourself, what would life look like if you stopped dimming your light? What would change if you fully embodied the truth you already feel deep within? Because the moment you do, not tomorrow, not when you're ready, but now, the veil thins and the new world rushes in to meet you. Now in this sacred space, there is only you. And the deeper truth that has been whispering through every moment of your life. The truth that you are not lost, not broken, not behind, only awakening. And in this awakening, you are not becoming something new, you are returning to the you that never needed to be fixed. The one who watched patiently behind your eyes while you forgot, while you explored, while you suffered and grew. Your quantum self, that radiant, expanded, limitless version of you, has never left. They were simply waiting for you to look inward, to feel instead of search, to remember instead of chase. And now you have. There is nothing more to seek. You are it. The answer, the key, the frequency, the gatekeeper, and the gate. When the matrix breaks, it is not some violent collapse. It is a gentle unveiling, a peeling away of illusions to reveal what has always been true. You are divine. You are the creator. You are the light. So take this knowing into your life. Let your choices reflect this remembrance. Let your actions radiate from truth, not fear. Let your words become spells that build, not destroy. And let your presence be a portal, so that anyone who meets you, even for a moment, feels something shift. Because the shift is real, the timelines are real, and you are ready. If you felt something awaken in you today, this isn't the end. It's a beginning. Honor that feeling. Comment not for this video, but to declare your arrival into your true reality. Your quantum self is listening. Subscribe only if you're ready to live aligned with the version of you who no longer waits, but creates. Because now, the world is ready for you. And your quantum truth? It's no longer just awakening. It's here. Welcome back.